You guys are going to want your home inspector to be available to you after the home inspection is over to answer any questions you might have about either the report or the home inspection itself. Let's face it, some of these homes are complicated. Some of the things that we find in homes are complicated, and you might need clarification. So make sure you hire a home inspector who is willing to be available to you after the home inspection is over to answer any questions or concerns that you might have. This is very important. Thank you guys for watching. Here's some of the defects that I found last week doing home inspections in New Jersey. Looking at this chimney from the outside, and this looks like it's a heating equipment chimney, we see this big gap right here in between the chimney and the house. So it looks like this top of this chimney has moved away from the structure of the home. That chimney has its own foundation and it's independent of the house. So this is quite a significant problem because we don't want this chimney to move away further. So this is something that's going to have to be dealt with. Maybe the top of this chimney is going to have to be rebuilt or strapped or supported in some way. But we see this big gap here, and now with this big gap here, water can enter, snow can enter, insects can enter, pests can enter. So this is something for sure that's going to have to be corrected right here. Here we have exterior cedar siding touching the roof covering right here at this intersection. So right where this sidewall comes down, we have the cedar siding touching the roof covering. And this is important because water is going to wick into this roof covering. And you can see some of the water damage here, right where the siding meets the roof. So through capillary action, water is going to enter the bottom of this siding and cause wood rot. There should be a flashing right in here there is a flashing right here, but we should have a couple inches of gap in between this cedar siding and the roof, just so we don't have this water wicking into it and causing this wood rot damage over time. So we'll take a look at this intersection when we go inside the house and see if there's any water penetration where this garage roof meets the structure of the home inside. Here we have this center support wall right here. This is a structural support, comes down under the beam, load path down to a foundation or footing right here. And we can see that we're just a little off. This is a new build. And I mean, we're not going to get crazy about this, but we are going to point it out. I don't think this is going to be significantly material for any type of, major structural problem. But you see how we're offset here about 4 inches here to the left side. So that's something we're going to report on. It's something we don't come across too often. This builder is usually really, really good. And you can see it's kind of offset there. So nothing too crazy, but it's something that we do want to bring out, call concern to, just to let the customer know and see if the builder might be able to do anything here for us. I'm looking at the bottom of a basement walkout door. And this is not a subterranean basement. This is just a walkout type basement. But outside this door, we have a patio, small patio that is negative grade. So we're going to have water coming towards this door. And we see that they put expandable foam here. We see this right here. I put a moisture meter on this area that's high in moisture. So we definitely have water coming towards the door. And that's going to have to be regraded in some fashion so water flows away and not toward. We also see here some efflorescence on this brick. So this efflorescence is salt and mineral deposits coming through the wall. As the moisture comes through, it evaporates and it leaves behind this salt and mineral deposits, which is another indication of water penetration around this basement door. So when we do home inspections, we're always looking for areas of possible water infiltration. And we have one right here that really should be corrected. This is a newer house, and here we have some arc fault circuit interrupter breakers right here. And there's a lot of them in this new panel. So the purpose of this type of breaker right here, you can see it's AFCI, is to sense when there's arcing that is a major problem, say in the walls, and that is a leading cause of electrical fires. is when we have an electrical arc. In other words, current that is jumping. And that's a significant issue. So all these new houses today have these arc fault circuit interrupters. And these are required in most areas where people gather in homes. So that would be bedrooms, kitchens, living rooms, dining rooms, even laundries. So this is what we look for. We have to make sure that these are in place. We don't test them as home inspectors, but we do need to make sure that everything is wired correctly and in place. But this is a new panel box. It's well done. Not too much going on here. But that's
I'm progressing this camera, the Sourline camera, down this cast iron pipe, and we see a lot of scaling. And right where the pipe exits the home, we have a lot of tree root penetration. And this is a significant problem because this can cause obstruction, of course, and backups and unsanitary conditions. So what I told my client to do in this case is to have a rooter company come in to hydrojet this area of the sewer line, because I can't progress the camera further than just a few feet down the pipe. And so once these tree roots are removed, I might be able to take a look and scan the rest of the piping. But given what we see here in this type of root penetration, it's highly likely that the balance of the sewer line is also going to be problematic. And sewer lines are very expensive, so most likely some or most of this sewer line is going to have to be replaced at significant cost. So it always pays to spend a few $100s and have a sewer line inspection, camera inspection performed during your home inspection. Because a sewer line is one of those things that as a home inspector, I just can't see. It's below ground. Unless we put a camera down there, I have no way to know that there's problems in there.